Hello and welcome everybody to another installment of Golden Gooner TV with your host Shannon Golden. Before we get started on today's video, guys, I just wanted to give a big shout out to everybody that has subscribed, liked, commented, shared my channel, follow the Instagram page, my Twitter account or X. So yeah, big up and big shout out to everybody for doing that. Please continue to do so, to subscribe, to like, to share. And yes, guys, Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 4. 1 second, let me just take a sip. Tastes so much better when you won 4-0 convincingly, your rivals have lost, and where we were looking at last week, where I saw a lot of the fan base were like, the title's gone, whatever. You know, we 1 point behind City with the big game coming up, but I will speak about that more at the end of the video. But yes, guys, I think yesterday's performance, what can I say? I think that was our best Premier League performance of the season so far. Given it was against Bournemouth, you would expect us to beat them, but you have to beat what's in front of you, and I think we did that convincingly. I think I wasn't too upset with the lineup. Maybe I would have not started Eddie, but you know, on the balance of things, I wasn't too upset when I saw him starting. You know, I can understand the sense in him starting. Other than that, I was pleasantly surprised to see Saka, Saliba, and Rice in the 11. You know, I thought maybe they would be on the bench because I did see that they traveled, but I didn't expect them to start. And look, I think we were solid from maybe the 10th minute onwards. I think Bournemouth started well the first 10 minutes or so. They looked lively, but from the 10-minute mark, I think we had complete and utter control of that game. Bournemouth looked like they could not lay a glove on us. You know, the commentator said it looked like a training game, and I have to admit that there were times where we looked levels above Bournemouth, and obviously we are, but it just showed the quality that we have. So performance-wise, I think we were great. I think we were solid in defense. In the midfield, we dominated the ball, and up front, we were clinical. You know, yes, we might have had 2 penalties, but if you look at how the penalties were won, it's because we were breaking the lines, because we were controlling the game in the right spaces. So yeah, no, my overall feeling on the game is that was a much-needed win, especially after the North London derby, and going into this big week that we have in the Champions League again and against Man City. So yeah, overall great performance from the team, and I'm going to go in and talk about it straight up. Kai Havertz, first Arsenal goal. Look, when we got the penalty, the first penalty, I actually was sitting with my wife and I was like, you know what? Give it to Havertz. You know, it's a penalty. What better way to get his confidence up? Look, obviously, Odegaard steps up and dispatches it greatly. But then when we get the second penalty, I was like, please give it to Havertz. And then, you know, Odegaard, it's like he almost heard me through the TV, and I was so happy to see Havertz step up. And look, it was a great penalty. Confidence. You wouldn't think that was a player that was low on confidence that took that penalty. He stepped up, looked assured, and dispatched it really well. And I think for him that would be massive. I think for the team, you know, see the team so behind him, it shows, you know, that they understood the kind of pressure that he was under, and you know, for him to get that goal was just a nice way for him to settle his nerves as well. You know, you don't want to go too long at your new club without, you know, either scoring or assisting, especially from an attacking player. But and I also think it's big for him going into the next 2 games. I think, you know, you would expect him to look a bit more confident in midweek when he plays in against City. You know, I think City are going to be missing Rodri, and I think that's going to be a good opportunity for Havertz to maybe, you know, because his best game for Arsenal, let's be honest, was against City. So, you know, I'm just saying, you never know, a Havertz goal against City. What are we saying? But yeah, for me, I'm quite happy for Havertz. You know, I think he's shown in the last, for me, 2 games, especially Brentford midweek, and then yesterday, that, you know, he is slowly getting his confidence up. I think he wins his duels. People say, but he's not signed for that. But look, he wasn't signed for that, but he does it. So that's great. Wins his duels, holds the ball up well. You know, his passing was nice and neat yesterday. And then obviously the goal just to put the icing on the cake. Now I just want to speak about a couple of other standout players for me. So I think Saliba and Gabriel had a super solid game yesterday in the heart of our defense. I think they looked so comfortable in terms of how they handled Bournemouth's attacking threats, but also how they contributed to our build-up play. And also, both of them made really good last-ditch challenges in the first half. If you look at it, for Saliba on, was it Solanke, if I'm not mistaken, and then it was Gabriel on Billing. You know, those were 2 big tackles from our centre-backs, and that's what I want. I want our centre-backs to be assured to take control of their opposing attackers, you know, be dominating, and obviously, like I said, helping the ball up. So those 2 were outstanding for me. A special shout out to Ben White. I think Ben White also had a very good game. him and Saka look like they're getting back to their best, and Odegaard too, like in terms of their link up. For him to get a goal as well, I really like Ben White. For me, I call him Mr. Consistent. I think he always, what you're going to get from Ben White. And yeah, he performed very well yesterday, and I'm happy that he got a goal too. Then moving further forward, Rice, great in the heart of that midfield. I think, it's been a while since we've had someone that can fill in for Partey. It doesn't even feel like we've lost Partey. Imagine when Thomas Partey comes back into the team, how much stronger we're going to be if this is where we are without Thomas Partey. So I have to give Rice big props yesterday. I think he had an outstanding game. I think he was the heart of our team yesterday, winning the balls, helping him build up, easing off the pressure when we were under pressure from Bournemouth, but also always looking to get the ball and keep the attacks moving. So that was great from Declan Rice. And then from Martin Odegaard, I think he, for me, was my man of the match. I think Odegaard was in the heart of everything that we did as well. I think he was looking to get on the ball. Given that Bournemouth played into our hands a bit, they didn't really do the low block. They tried to press us, and I think that played into our hands. But Odegaard getting an assist for the Ben White goal. Him being involved with Saka's goal, scoring a penalty. Winning a penalty. So Odegaard was involved in every single goal that we scored yesterday. So I have to give him big props for his performance yesterday. I thought he was outstanding. So yeah, Odegaard for me was great. And yeah, I think all the players that I mentioned yesterday were really the catalyst for our fantastic performance yesterday. Now I want to speak on the manager. I think Arteta got it spot on yesterday. I think with the approach, he even said that the boys were very up for it the day before. They were very confident, and I think that showed in the way we played. I think we set up the way you would expect us. Maybe I think a lot of us maybe would have called for Arteta to not start, but Arteta went with Eddie, and I think Eddie had a really good game actually. I think his whole play was better. His link-up play was much more involved. He didn't get a goal, but he looked more threatening than he did midweek and against Spurs. So I have to give Arteta the props for that. The only thing that I would be maybe put an X next to his name is that not taking off Saka earlier. Saka didn't train the whole week, came off in the North London derby with a knock. Why wait till he gets injured again or gets a knock to take him off? The game was won after Havertz scored. You could have easily given players like Nelson, Vieira, Smith Rowe more minutes than what he did and taken off Saka. And you've got a big week coming up. We've got Champions League against Lens in France, and then we've got the big one against City on Sunday. So why not give your players like Saka, Rice more time to rest? That was the only thing. I think Arteta made some of the changes a bit too late, given the fact that some of these players, he said, didn't train. Look, maybe they did train and we just don't know about it, but I'm just saying, in terms of protection and man management, I think that would have been the smarter thing to do. But look, I'm not the manager, but I do think Arteta should have made changes earlier. We have the big week now. It is the Champions League midweek game against Lens, which I think should be our main focus. Arteta always says that they don't always look too far forward. I think it's important that we focus on the game on Tuesday, try win the game as early as we can, be professional and take the 3 points, make it 6 out of 6 in the Champions League, and then move on to City on Sunday. I think, yes, a lot of fans are excited and looking forward to the City game, but I think we will be foolish from ourselves as fans and players and management to look past Lens. They are an unknown entity to us. I don't think any of us have actually maybe watched them like that. I certainly haven't, so I won't be able to give you my how I feel about them. But I do think that if we are professional and we approach the game in the right way, that we are the strongest team in our group. We should beat them, whether it's home or away. I'm confident that we can beat them and that we should beat them. So yes, that's, like I said, it's the start of our big week, and then obviously we're moving on to the City game on Sunday, which I think if you can beat City. Look, it's not even about beating them to go first. It's just about beating City. It's about the psychological effect it could have in the title race. Is that if you get one over them, you've got one over them until we play again. And that again puts us above them. Whether it puts us first, because Spurs, still have to play and their goal difference as well. But the main thing is for us to just beat them. I don't care if we beat them 1-0, 3-2, 2-1, they score 2 own goals. I don't care. I just want us to beat City. I want us to approach that game the way we approached it in the game where we lost at the Emirates, when Rodri scored that last minute winner where we really dominated and deserved to win the game. I think we need to not be emotional, don't get caught up in the occasion, be professional, but be on them. This is the best chance you have to beat City. City are a bit weaker, and what I mean by that, I don't think they're a weak team. Obviously without Rodri, without De Bruyne, they are a bit weaker. Without Bernardo Silva, if I'm not mistaken, they are a bit weaker. They still have their threats. They look at Julian Alvarez yesterday with a great free kick. They still got Haaland, can't deny that. Defensively, they're still good. They're City at the end of the day. But I think if there's ever time for us to beat them, it's now when they're not at their strongest. So I will obviously be doing videos and preview videos for the Lens game for Wednesday, and then obviously over the weekend for the game on against City. But more on that in those videos, guys. So yes, that brings me to the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Leave your comments, guys. Let me know what you think. What do you think of the performance? Who were your standout players? And what do you expect from this big week coming ahead for Arsenal? Thanks, guys.